So there's this guy named Judge Graham, who you can see here on your left. There's another guy named Matt Monero, who you can see there on the right. And Judge Graham, he built a business for himself in the digital world, ultimately built a company, sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars, did an incredible job. And the guy on the right there, Matt Monero, he owns a transportation company that does nearly $1 billion a year in revenue. And what's crazy is both of these gentlemen have built these amazing businesses. They created them with an exit strategy where they could kind of get out. And that guy there in the middle is Rocky. You might recognize him. He was here on an episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Actually, all three of these guys have been. But what they did is after they left their companies, after they sold their companies or created an opportunity for more space and more time for themselves, they were able to collab. They were able to come together and create something new called Burn the Ships. And now in doing so, this collaboration, what they've been able to do is ultimately take their business wisdom, their business knowledge, and all of their experience, and now they're pouring it into others. So they're helping other people create businesses that they can scale with speed and ultimately do what these guys have done, right? Which is scale with speed, create an exit strategy, hit the jackpot financially, and also make an impact to where they're able to give back in such a huge and powerful way. Individually, they were strong. Together, far more powerful. Another collaboration that you might know and recognize is the one between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. These two guys together were able to win 6 championships, 6 NBA championships, which is unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. I think it's only been done by one other team since or before, right? But these two guys together, when they were on the court, they were nearly unbeatable. They were electric. They had one season, I believe it was, where they only lost. They won 71 out of 82 games one season, only lost 11 games. It's incredible. But the collaboration of these two men created something that was far bigger than the sum. Individually, they were great, but together, they were an unstoppable force. Another collaboration that you might know and recognize was one between a guy named Paul McCartney and another guy named Michael Jackson. If you don't know these two, I don't know what rock you've been living under. But back in the 80s, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson came together to collab for 2 songs. One song was called Say, 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 and another song called The Girl Is Mine. These 2 songs, when they brought together rock and roll and Motown, when they brought together these 2 gentlemen, these 2 songs were 2 of the most iconic songs of the 80s. If you've never heard them, you got to look them up. They're absolutely incredible. Around the same time, actually a little bit later in the 80s, early 90s, a guy named Aerosmith, rock and roller by the name of Aerosmith, and a group called Run DMC came together and they changed the course of music history forever. Created a song called Walk This Way with a video of how rock could just slam through the walls. They just broke through the walls and of the stereotypes and all the lines that had been drawn between rock and roll and hip hop. And they were able to break down those walls and create something truly magical that even to this day, I mean, it's powerful, it's strong. When you watch the video, when you listen to the song, it's just incredible. What's the 80s, Jake says. Young people. But these collaborations, it's amazing what can happen when 2 people come together. It's a powerful force. Some other collabs that you might know and recognize is this guy, Glenn Lundy. I don't know if you ever have heard of him, but he's done some collabs with Danelle Delgado that have ultimately been truly impactful in so many people's lives. It's been incredible. It's been impactful in my life, and I believe in hers. And that collab continues to grow and get stronger. There's also this Glenn Lundy guy. He's done these collabs with a guy named Michael Cirillo, which right now, by the way, I need you to make sure that you're friends with Michael Cirillo Cirillo. We're in the middle of a bet right now. I told him we could get 150 extra friends in 24 hours. You guys have been crushing that. I made a post in Rise and Grind. But Michael Cirillo and I are collabing and doing some amazing things. You may have heard of this conference called Hustle and Grind Con, which is a collaboration of, again, this guy, Glenn Lundy, and my Sean Hayes and Dave Benson. We put together this awesome thing called Hustle and Grind Con, which if you haven't got your tickets for that yet, you need to go on and make that happen. Super, super important. You're not going to want to miss it. Did this thing just freeze up? I hope not. All right. And of course, there's the collab of Glenn Lundy and John Travolta, right? That's a collab that I'm working on right now. That's a collab that I'm working on right now. And it's an opportunity for me to show you, this awesome picture of me and John Travolta, because I like to show this picture as often as possible because it was just an incredible moment for me. Right? So the collabs, man, it's powerful. You see, when done right, a collaboration can be the most powerful tool in your tool belt. Now, in doing so, though, you have to understand that there are some key components. There's some key components that make up an incredible collaboration. Otherwise, it just simply doesn't work. Tina says, I want to go to Hustle and Grind. Dude, let's go. Get your tickets. Come on. Let's go. You got to do it, right? I'm telling you, it's going to be life-changing for everyone in attendance, all right? So collabs, when done right, can be the most powerful tool in your tool belt. But we've got key components, all right? So I'm going to break down what some of those key components are for you today so that you can make sure you go into the right collaborations, the ones that make you stronger and make you bigger than the sum of your parts, just like we've been talking about. Fair enough? So the first thing, when you're creating a powerful collaboration, is you have to understand that it must be 80% and 80%. Okay? Yeah, I keep getting kicked out of this thing. It's crazy. It must be 80-80. Now, see, a lot of people think that a good collaboration or a good partnership has to be 50-50, right? And what actually ends up happening in most collaborations or most partnerships, you have something like an 80-20. You got one person who's putting in 80% of the effort, 80% of the energy. They bring 80% to the table, and there's only 20% coming from the other side. That doesn't work, my friends. Then there's some people that think, okay, well, we got to do 50-50. I got to put in the equal amount of work. You put in the equal amount of work, and I'm here to tell you that that doesn't work either. The best collaborations are when the people on both sides are both trying to give 80%. You see, something about Danelle and I that makes us work really, really well is neither one of us can sit back. Like, we both love to work. We absolutely love it. So I'm constantly trying to add 80% into her world. I'm trying to shout her out. I'm trying to connect her with people. I'm trying to put her on stages. I'm trying to do all of those things. All of those things. I'm putting in 80% effort to make her world better, and she does the same for me. I receive 80% from Danelle. She's constantly working with me. She's constantly trying to push me for more. She's introducing me to her people. She's sharing her ideas, her opportunities, so on and so forth. So we have this 80% relationship. Now, I'm here to tell you, it simply doesn't work any other way. It doesn't. I've tried it. I've tried some other collabs. I've tried some collabs with different people where I felt like I was giving 80 and they were only giving me 20 back. Guess what? Falls apart. Doesn't make an impact. I've been in collabs where they were giving 80, or maybe they were up here. They were at such a high level and I wasn't quite there yet. So I wasn't able to give them the same 80 that they were able to give me. Doesn't work. The best partnerships, the best collabs are when both people are giving 80%, both battling to serve one another and battling to serve others at such a super high level. That's when you have the amazing breakthroughs. That's when it works. The second thing that I want you to know about creating the perfect collaborations or the perfect partnerships that ultimately can be bigger than the sum of its parts is you got to make sure you focus on the yin yang theory when it comes to your partnerships. You see, your partners and your collaborations, they need to be strong where you are weak and weak where you are strong. That's the way that it works. You see, my wife and I have an awesome collaboration. My wife and I have this collaboration where she's very detail oriented. She's much more introverted. She's more behind the scenes, stay at home. Me, on the other hand, I'm a bit of an extrovert, in case you didn't know. I'm a bit of an extrovert. I love to travel. I love to be on the road. I love to socialize. I love the crowds. I love the energy. We're complete opposite. I'm not super detail oriented. That is like the bottom of my personality chart. But on hers, it's at the very, very top. So this collaboration, this partnership works really well together. It's also the reason that Cirillo and I work well together. We're very opposite, complete different personalities. We're like-minded in our drive and our passions, but we're very opposite in our personalities. He's more detail. He's more of an introvert. I'm more out there. So I'm helping bring him out of his shell. He's helping me make sure that we're really dialed and really specific on our sound and our lighting and visuals and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you're following this yin yang theory. Find someone who fills your holes. People that are strong where you are weak. The third component to making sure that you build these awesome collaborations like the ones we talked about earlier in the week with Ben and Jerry's, and Sean and I, and just the different things. The third thing that you want to make sure that you focus on is you must mutually respect one another. You see, Jordan and Pippen had mutual respect for one another. Jordan knew Scottie Pippen's role in his rise and his ascent, and Scottie Pippen knew Jordan's role in his rise and his respect. It has to, or in his ascent. It has to be mutually respectful, or it doesn't work. Now, when it comes to this, you have to understand that you have to earn that. It doesn't just come. Nobody just gives you that. Like, there's a reason that John Travolta and I have not done a collab yet. Because, see, he's at a certain level and doesn't necessarily have enough respect for me yet. He's respectful, don't get me wrong. He's not disrespectful. But he doesn't have enough respect for me yet to see how I can add value into his life. Make sense? I respect him at a super high level for what he's done, but he doesn't necessarily have that same equal respect for me. So right now, we can't make a powerful collab. It won't work. So what I've got to do is I've got to put in the work. I got to make sure that I level up. You see, when I get to a point where we are equally gifted, equally talented, there's no minuses, there's no gaps. When we get to that point where we're equal, now we can create a powerful collab. There's too many people out there that are trying. They try to connect with somebody that's at a higher level, or they want the shout outs, or they want the shortcuts, or they're like, hey, well, if I could just hook onto that person, I can ride their coattails through the finish line. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't work, my friends. It does not work. You must work your tail off to get to a point where you have equal mutual respect for one another. Then you can create something powerful. The term is yet. You're right, Sandra. All right. And the fourth and last most important aspect of creating a great partnership or a great collaboration is you must find a partner that you can trust. Somebody that you can trust 100%. Someone that you know is going to be your ride or die. Someone that you know is going to have your back, that they're going to be loyal to the core. They're going to do everything that they can for you. It's got to be somebody that you can trust. Never devalue the importance of character. I'm going to say that one more time. Never devalue the importance of character. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations because we feel as though there may be a gain, even though that person doesn't necessarily connect with our values, or that person doesn't necessarily have character that we would like to emulate, or that person in some way, shape, or form doesn't have the integrity but yet they have skills and talent. I'm here to tell you that's not the way to build a great collab. Character is one of the most important aspects. You have to partner up with somebody that you can trust. Somebody that you know is going to go out there and do the right thing every single time. Align yourself with those who align with your values, and you can create incredible partnerships. You want to know the greatest collab that you could possibly make out there? The greatest collab that you could possibly make would be one with you and God above. That's the perfect example of an incredible partnership and a great collaboration. You see, if you give God 80%, he'll actually give you 100%. He's not on the 80-80 rule. He's definitely not on the 80-20 rule. He's definitely not on a 50-50 rule. You give him 80, he's going to give you 100, I promise you. You see, he strengthens your weaknesses. All the holes that you have, all the areas of your life where you feel weak, God can make you strong in all of those areas. He respects you. He respects you on a super high level. He would love for you to respect him as well. You show him respect, he'll show you respect. And I promise you, you can trust him. Always. You can trust him. You can partner up with him. You can build a life with him. The changes that you will be able to make in other people's lives in that collaboration, in that partnership, are ones that will last for eternity. Listen, my friends, you are an amazing child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything, made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And I know you're starting to make some good decisions. You're starting to surround yourself with amazing people like we got right here in Rise and Grind. I think Liza just said something about CMA. Yep, that is why we, CMA, partnered with Glenn Lundy and Danelle Delgado. That's because, Liza, you are amazing. You are amazing. And I love that collab. I love that partnership. And I love what we're able to create through that. And I'm so thankful for you. But you guys are doing it. You're making these decisions, right? These seemingly meaningless decisions. And I'm just here to let you know that they mean far more than you might ever know. They're making an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. You showing up here today in this collaboration, this partnership, where you share these out and you tag the people and you do the comments and all of that, dude, it matters. It matters. And I, for one, absolutely love you for it. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. So go out there, have an incredible day today. Incredible, powerful, over-the-top, amazing day today. Go out there and do that. And then will you do me a favor? Do me a couple favors. Go get your tickets to Hustle and Grind Con. All right? Start there. All right? You're going to end up going anyway. And you don't want to deal with FOMO, right? So just go get them right now. But then secondly, will you come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m.? Because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind with my man, Quentin Alones. It's going to be awesome.